What's up, guys? I'm your host, Lucie, and this is Eventually It All Connects. I'm here with a friend of mine that I actually just met recently. Anyways, we'll see how we met. But
Is last year still recent?
say your name, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. My name is Malaika, and yeah, I'm a creator.
Fellow creators.
I'm just a girl.
Valid. Very, very valid. But yeah, so we met. It was this year.
This year,
It was this year.
well, feels like last year, but okay.
Because the 2 year was this year. Wait, no.
It was last year. It wasn't this year. It was
Wow,
last year.
it feels like it was this year. But we met at an event. It was the 2 years for.
Oh, it was this year. Never mind. It was this year. Yeah, it was.
It was the 2 years for
Monopoly.
Monopoly, which is a board game if you're not from Tanzania. It's kind of like Monopoly, but our version of it. And yeah, so we got to talking. We have mutual friends, and then that's where it all began. And here we are. She's now on my podcast.
How I Met Your Mother.
But okay. But yeah. Anyways, I have a question that I ask all my guests. And the question is there a time in your life where you didn't know it then, but are now realizing that eventually it all connected?
Yeah, I think a lot of times, not just one time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, and there's so many things that it happen, and I think I remember, like I have a habit of remembering. So eventually you sit down and you're like, it all connected, all the series of events connected, and then yeah, it all
Connected to like, you don't have to say like a specific time, but it's like, do you have an event where it's just like, if that didn't happen, I would have not been who I am or where I am today?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I'm part of a big brand, but it all began It all began way back, and then it all came
together.
Annie, to finally put it on.
Did it start off as like you wanted to do it like seriously, or was it just like, let's just try this out, and then you didn't really
On the brand?
Yeah.
Hey, I did not know even if I'll be in it. I won't lie.
It just came.
It wasn't planned, kabisa, Annie. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't planned. It just happened. It just so happened.
We love that. Those are the moments that it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
How did that come through? But yeah, so today's topic is boundaries, which I need to also learn because I do have boundaries and I know I need to have them, but sometimes I forget them.
Me and you both.
So, the first question that I have for you is, what does boundaries mean to you personally beyond just saying no?
I feel like for boundaries is a very strong word to use.
Yeah.
So far I'm still trying to figure it out. If I should tell you honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what boundary is, and with who and with what and where and when,
how to.
And when, because like there are times you think that you should have had boundaries, but maybe it wasn't like that. You should have not had boundaries, and then there are times you're like, yeah, hii situation bora tu ningekuwa na boundaries isingefika hapo. And I feel like it has happened with a few close friends back in the school days as well. Kwamba it's because I allowed people to have access to my life when I should have had boundaries. It affected me highly. Sababu, lack of boundaries has you having a lot of attachment issues. Yeah, and I used to have a lot of attachment issues back in the days because of lack of boundaries. And then sometimes it's not really about saying no. Sometimes about saying like, we'll catch up later. Sometimes like, I can't talk right now. That's also a boundary. It's like a boundary of my mental space, my emotional space. I feel like boundaries, is still so wide, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But then
Mm.
in general, it's just that.
So it does, obviously it does go beyond saying like, oh no, I don't want to do this. Like it's like,
Yeah, it goes.
I need, and you can. It's obviously within relationships, friendships, even like I feel like sometimes with family members as well, people kind of it's tricky because like, how do I put boundaries
Even in
with
church,
family? That's true.
like
Even in
even
church.
in church, unajua sometimes unajikuta you're just doing things because you want to be part of the church. Well, you
Mm,
actually don't really have to, because
mm,
how am I sure being part of the church so directly will take me to heaven in the first place? Maybe it's actually disconnecting me from where my purpose was in the
mm,
beginning.
mm.
So
You just have to be careful and look at how
yeah,
your life is and what you can do to establish that, I guess, relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, even with that, it's like it's between you and God.
mm.
It's not between you, the church, and God. It's that direct.
The church is just a temple,
Exactly.
just a building.
That's true. But yeah, so I don't know, because I think, like you said with me, I'm like boundaries is a very strong word. Because even sometimes I'm like, oh, let me set boundaries with family members. I'm like,
Unajua, yani
I like
African
boundaries. It
families,
sounds very serious.
all families actually, we need boundaries. There should be boundaries between aunts and nieces, aunts and there are things you don't need to cross. Like, sio kwamba nasema mengine, lakini you know, sometimes in the family kuna vitu sio lazima watu wajue wa nje ya nyumbani kwenu, yani out of those four walls. Like kuna ndo ile wanasema you don't put your dirty laundry when the guests coming in. Hata kama like it's something that you'd love to share with the family, they don't have to know, because in the end of the day wanakusaidia. Because some of the family members would take you from that position to feel like you should have told them, to regret ever telling them anything, kwa sababu utakuta imeshafika kwenye ukoo wa fulani fulani huko, because they went out, they met together, and they're like, unajua mtoto wa fulani like that, and I'm like,
Why do you have to? Why do you have to say
yeah,
it?
like ujue to like una limit, just because you're told pia doesn't mean you also have to.
Go and tell,
Yeah,
like,
to watu ambao they're also outside of the family.
which is it makes that's why even sometimes like my sort of boundary as well is not telling things to my family because I'm like I know the minutes Nicoambia it's going to go out or someone is somewhere and be like, oh, I heard it. I'm like, especially like because again, love my family is great and I love them, but like my parents they talk amongst their siblings and it's like my aunts didn't need to know that, or that was just between me and you. Why are you going and telling them and sort of thing? So it's kind of tricky, and some people like it's hard because you don't really want to like. It feels like you're being strict. Basically, it's like no, you can't do this or you have to do this, but it's like for the lack of to keep my sanity because I will go insane if I do not have it. Then I can, keep my peace. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know what? I love you, but it's like they say you can love them from a distance if they're actually not making you, giving you peace at all, which sometimes, again, in African family can feel very, why would you do that? But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Like that's what I've learned. I've learned too. It's like, you know what, no matter what they say, how they feel, if like, we want to like they don't she doesn't want us. She is distancing herself. I'm like, I'm not trying to
Like,
be a
it's
bad
not
person.
distance, it's just like sometimes it's okay. It's okay for not being aware of what's going on in another person's life. Sometimes it even saves you so much from overthinking. Because kuna mda yani una receive this information, you start overthinking about this information, how to solve this information, where to keep this information. So you don't want to keep it to yourself. You want to keep it with others so they can help you carry that secret. But you don't have to. That's the
You
thing.
don't.
So if they don't know, that means you're also saving them from the burden of carrying your work and whatever is going on with you. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. I don't, because again, I don't know how much you want to share, and I do not want to make you share a lot.
I'll share what is to be shared.
um, because I think, okay, it's kind of personal,
Okay.
but can you share a time where you had to set a difficult boundary and what it cost you? Again, you don't have to name names because we're not naming names here, but it was kind
Um
of difficult.
hmm. So This goes way back in primary, actually.
Mm.
I had to learn to set a boundary very, very unexpectedly. Yani afu, by force, by fire type of boundary.
Mm.
Yani you just need to realize that kwamba this person can be in your life.
Mm.
So basically, I was sort of bullied. I was always the youngest in my class and
Mm-hmm.
also the smartest.
Mm.
I'm not bragging, but it's true.
It's
So
not bragging.
there was a lot of competition and a lot of people who tried to intimidate
yeah.
and tried to crush me out.
Mm.
They might not know or they might think they didn't do that. It was just
Mm-hmm.
child's play, but that was the reality.
Mm.
But that's what they were doing. There was a lot of bullying and then a lot of watu wanataka kuingilia maisha yako and how you should feel
Yeah.
and how you should move and how you should walk, how you should talk, how you should be.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a girly girl, so and I was surrounded by a lot of girly girls. So
Mm.
it was also hard because like I had my own personality. So now you have to constantly try to adjust to fit in.
Mm.
And then my boundary had to become to like I don't want to fit in. And that's a fact. And I don't have to fit in.
Mm.
Why am I fitting in the first place?
Mm.
Because eventually you find your people, you find your circle. Sometimes it's not at the time where you should have found it. Sometimes it's a totally different year phase in life. Like in I had to learn it after getting hurt, having my things, my personal things said to people that I never even talked to. I heard personal matters being discussed, people making decisions on my personal matters without me knowing about it. Yani unakuja kuadisiwa na mtu baki wa nje kinachoendelea. And then you're like, oh, even I didn't know that. Like, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So I had to set boundaries with who I talk to and what I tell them. But it also needed me to figure out who was saying what. So learn who my friends were and who the storytellers were. That's the sweetest way I can name them. There were such storytellers. So finding out who your storytellers are, it's not come by you stop being friends with them. You keep being friends with them, but you just learn to not tell them.
Yeah.
Now, if your friends are friends with the storytellers, you also unachuja kitu gani cha kusema na kitu gani cha kutokusema. That's why I also had very multiple different friend groups from so many different places, not just the one in school, because I feel like I would have had such a hard time because unaambia watu in shule kitu kinazunguka ndani ya the entire stream and you don't want them to know. So you might as well have friends who are outside hawajulikani na hawajui hawa ndani. So the information really can't go to the people you don't want it to go to. So yeah.
I actually never thought of it that way. That's actually a smart way to sort of deal with people. Because even at school, again, because I was the type of person that was very shy. Like I didn't really like talking to people. I still don't, but
You try to.
I try. It's the creative industry. You kind of have to. But yeah, so I didn't really think of let me have. I mean, I did have an outside friend group, but those are people. It's like family friends. So I don't know if that what you meant, like family friends, where you just create.
Hata kusema kweli family friends ndo kabisa, yani tukikutana kwenye events au family parties, yani pale is where our friendship is thriving. Beyond that house and beyond that party, we're just like, hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? That's as far as it goes. I'm not even speak calls like for 6 hours and I'm telling you, oh my god, who I have a crush on. Nah.
So how those people
family friends, it's gonna leak in the family. So do you want them to know? Because like, what's the point of not telling your family if you know kabisa it's going to leak?
That's true.
So,
but with you and me, so you say you would tell those sort of things to just
people,
your school?
Very, very exclusive people. I had very exclusive people that I can talk to.
Yeah.
That were sometimes, most of them were way older, so also mature. So you don't expect a mature person to be a tattletale.
That's true.
So,
or at least you hope so, because you can think that
yeah,
then kumbe.
Majority, so I've not really been disappointed with the older people I've talked about personal matters.
Yeah.
But I've been disappointed with people that were my age mates or my classmates.
Oh yeah.
So also till why to this day I also have a very hard time being around people who are my same age. Because
Drama.
So far, majority have not proved me wrong. Still the same way like it used to be. Maybe I just haven't met
the right people.
But I've met a few who've a bit changed my perspective about it, about people who are my age.
Yeah.
But until further notice, we'll see.
We'll see how it goes the older you get, and just
maybe
people.
It will all connect somehow.
Exactly. But yeah, I think this is okay. Going on to like the next question. Why do you think so many people struggle setting boundaries, especially like in friendships and
we love too much, we trust too much, we care too much,
people pleasing,
we overthink too much. Well, you might not be a people pleaser, you're just a lover in general, and you just have a lot of I received comments that I was very naive because I see the good in everyone. So when you see the good in everyone, you also low-key don't set boundaries because you believe that they won't disappoint you. And even if they do, they have a valid reason why they did. They'll be remorseful, perhaps, or not. But you believe in the goodness and you're optimistic. So sometimes it's optimism as well that actually ndo kinatufanya to set boundaries, because we believe amna, like why would I set boundaries with my friends, and they probably wouldn't do that to me. Yeah. And then once you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 heartbreaks, you start learning that even the most unbelievable things can happen to you. And then do if we are not to care. But yeah.
That's actually so like just yeah, I guess it's the whole trusting, like being like, okay, one thing I've learned, I think I've talked about, is I've learned in my face right now is like, how people it's like, okay, I will trust you until you give me a reason not to. I've kind of switched it around. I'm like, I will not trust you until you give me a reason to, because I'm like, the way I've been like, I think it's because I've had so many people lose my trust, or I'm like, now I can't trust you anymore. And so I'm like, you know what, from now on you have to earn my trust. You have to show me why I should trust you. Sort of thing. I don't know, it was very random, but I'm like, that's a sort of boundary that I've like set these days, and I'm like, it's kind of working, because I'm like, it's giving me more peace that, okay, I don't have high expectations for people, if that makes sense.
It's it's dangerous out there in terms of trusting people that you'd have no boundaries for them. And I feel like anyone that you have enter your life as a person that you would like to admire, aspire to be, love, or genuinely care for, you don't want to set boundaries for them. You, at some point, you do expect them to know certain boundaries, but is there really a need for a boundary? There's also that, who really is supposed to set the boundaries, and why are you setting boundaries? Because sidhani kama the like ukiangalia the relationship with God, I don't think we have boundaries to that. We always, now if we did have boundaries, then we always cross that boundary. And we always do things that we're not supposed to do, say things we're not supposed to say. Sometimes I feel like it also goes that way with our parents. We forget that they're parents, and then we overstep our boundaries with the things that we say, the things that we do. And so yeah, inakuja like your question, like, why are we setting boundaries, by the way? Is it because we want to protect ourselves, protect the relationships? Is it because we're naive? Is it because we're scared? Is it because we've been disappointed? That's why we want to learn how to set boundaries, because there's also that. So because if you've never been disappointed, you realize you never have to set boundaries.
Yeah.
It's always kuna kitu kimetokea, that's why you're setting boundaries.
You're like, that is a boundary I'm setting. It's always like when something goes wrong is when you're like, okay, we need to figure out.
Also how you figure out how you create your standards, what we call standards. Like, these are my standards, the type of people I want to be around with, the type of things I want to do. It's always because something happened that triggered you to evil,
to change. Yeah.
And the boundaries that we're setting, are they actually productive, positive? Are they building boundaries, or are they just protective but they're destruction boundaries at the same time? Because sometimes we set boundaries to the wrong people. We ended up destroying relationships instead of building them.
Mm.
And we end up ruining beautiful things because of setting boundaries.
Mm.
So yeah.
That makes sense. I think I've even realized with the whole boundaries thing, it depends on what season of life that you're in.
Very true.
Because I've because I've been in a sort of transition of seasons and people and whatnot, like the past 6 months or so. And so I've realized I'm like, it's so weird because what I don't really tolerate now, I used to tolerate, and I'm like, I think because I was a different person back then, so it makes sense with why I did and how I didn't realize that, wait, this is not something that aligns with what I need.
I feel it also comes with age.
It does, I
So
guess.
the whole mindset shift once your mental lobe starts developing, and once it didn't, you
Mm,
realize, yeah, the age I'm going does not need me to tolerate such things. Like, we're not children anymore, so
really
we really
not.
don't have time to mend all these relationships that are breaking
Or
every
to
day.
force stuff. It's like, why am I forcing? There's one thing I don't like that I will probably never like is one-sided friendships. That's it's like I'm just putting the effort and I feel like you're not, and it kind of gets weird and awkward, and I'm just like, you know what, let me just
Step back.
step back and kind of put a boundary of like, no, like this is not what I want, because again, it drains you, and
It
it's
really
like
does.
I
Takes the
don't
life
want to.
out of you.
It really, it does, and I'm like, why am I being overwhelmed and drained by this? And I don't know if what is the other person doesn't seem to care, but it's like I'm just tired of being drained. It's like I have a lot of other stuff in my life that already drain me. I can't add this onto there. So I've just learned to stop forcing friendships, and on top of that, not even kind of to stop wanting closure. Cause
Yeah, yeah, Niapo, I can definitely agree on you. Sometimes some people don't deserve closure, and it's okay. And it's okay to just end it. You just say goodbye, spiritually, mentally, cut off the disconnection, go do your prayers, cleanse, and then just say, and it's done. Whether they come back, they don't come back, that is on them. If they want to
that's
contact you
true.
via email, it's fine. It's okay. Like any way, it's closure.
Mm,
So yeah, I'm doing that right now with a lot of people. I'm having closure with a lot of people that they don't even know I'm having closure with them, but I am.
literally, yeah.
And watagundua tu kwamba yani I'm disconnected.
And
Like,
then they'll be like,
to
"What?"
be honest, right now I don't look for people like I used to. I used to be the first one to call if I realize a person has gone quiet. And kidogo teni, if we used to talk every day and then I see you like 2 days and you're quiet,
Be like,
I'm
"What's
the
going
first one to
on?"
call and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's
It's not
happening?
like just what, it's all the time, and you're like, wait, how come they've never called me when I go
Messages,
quiet?
spam messages, text like a bunch of things, send reels every day, snaps. And right now I'm like at a very huge transition in my life to know kwamba like I don't always have to give out my energy. I need to conserve my energy, because just imagine umetoa energy yako and by the time you actually have a family, you don't even have the energy to give to your own people that matter,
Imagine.
that are going to be with you for the rest of your life because you gave it all out. So I'm really learning that kwamba yeah, you can say goodbye. So that's I don't love you anymore, but it's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Live your life, I live mine.
It's at the end of the day, we're on our own path. It's
Good
like
vibes.
we're individuals.
Good
Even like I
vibes.
think I even like in obviously in marriage it's different because like the Bible does say like you're one and whatnot, but it's like you're also individual people. So it's like you can't. Again, that has nothing to do with the whole boundaries thing, but it's like
I mean, I feel like even in marriages, I mean, I've not been married before, but I feel like even in marriages, there are people who have boundaries. There's
you
certain
kind of have
boundaries,
to, yeah,
and these are conversations people have before they get married, so they also know. And
to not cross it.
I feel conversations should happen with any kind of relationship, not just
Oh yeah,
marriage. Like,
literally
to know a
friendships, relatives,
person,
yeah.
kama kweli mtu ana boundaries ambazo tayari alisha set, then might as well ask them and find out, so we also don't cross the line.
That's true. But I think you also this is the next one you kind of already answered because it's how do you balance setting boundaries while still loving people? It's still possible.
Tunasali, tunamwomba Mungu.
You know that
um
they're also human and they're a child of God. So
yeah, I try to stay optimistic as possible and say kwamba like mm, nitakuwepo nitakuwepo kwenye maisha yako, lakini sitakuwepo at the same time. Lakini like if you ever need something, I'm there.
yeah,
But in my head najua kabisa I'm doing this because I'm genuinely just a good person and I would love to help. Lakini not kwamba like I'm now going to expect something in return. Because you set boundaries. When you set boundaries, you also stop expecting. So I stop expecting
That's true.
that you're supposed to care for me, you're supposed to look for me, you're supposed to help me. Like no one is supposed to do anything for you. You came into this world alone, figure your life out, you fix it. And not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Just like there are times you have to just figure it all out.
Yeah.
And no one will be there, even if you really wanted someone there. And then there are times Mungu anaweza kukutanisha with just a random person huko barabarani, yani yeye ndo akakutoa kwenye ile mental space that you were in, emotional space, the dilemma, akakupeleka to where you're supposed to be. And not anyone close to you or anyone who was in your life
could have done that.
It's,
it's crazy how
conversations with strangers could sometimes be so beneficial. The person who meets to Leoani and then you never talk to them again. They never give you a number, nothing evil. Sometimes they're actually more beneficial than conversations with people that you'd consider friends.
Yeah. I remember, so there's this, actually it's kind of happening now, situation's happening now. But it's so crazy because I have this friend that we were close. And it's just happened where, I don't know, along the lines, I think it's more of like I've stepped back and then it's like, oh, so it's just me.
Yeah.
That was putting it. I mean, and so I was even like thinking about that, and even like with that, it's crazy because I'm like, I need to make that boundary of like, I'm not saying I hate you. I still like you, and like you said, I'll still be there for you, and I will. If you need me, say, hey, I need something, I will help you because I'm a nice person.
And then the funny thing is, kuna time you actually expected kwamba when you disconnect from these people, they'll realize, and then they'll be like, what's going on? Why have you disconnected? But no, sometimes they don't even realize that you've disconnected. You know, and they're like you don't exist. And then up until you meet each other, it's already happened, and I'm past that now. But
it's like crazy.
I can relate.
It's crazy because I think you're talking about the whole like your mind shifts from how they're like, even like now again.
How you view people shifts.
It does, because I'm like not saying that like they're a bad person or anything, but it's like because of what happened. Like I'm the type of person, I'm like, ukishanifanyia kitu, I'm not going to see it the same way. Like, I can't.
I put everyone I love on a pedestal. So it is your choice and what you do that will take you down from that pedestal to where you're going to be.
You are. So like
in Ghana, you might not reach the ground floor, maybe you still stay in the air or something, but hutakuwa pale anymore.
Exactly. So I've even like realized now, I'm just like, again, it sucks, and like sometimes I'm like, I don't like that mindset that I have, but I'm like, I will still be your friend. I'll still say hi. Like I'm like, I've told people, I'm like, I could have beef with you to Mumbana, but if I see you like in person or whatever, I'm like, I'll still say hi to you because it's just at least for me, that's a decent thing for me to do.
Don't even.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be that petty, but I can't be. But
I just want to disconnect and disconnect from you. Once we're disconnected. Yani, if you have beef with me, it's wewe na nafsi yako. Me personally, I just don't want you in my life.
What if you have the same mutual friends?
It doesn't matter. We could be in the same room. You have issues with me, and I'm living my life like you don't exist. Kama imetokea tumesalimiana, it's fine, but doesn't mean we're friends. Doesn't mean we're close.
Well, yeah,
tumepanda gari moja to go to the next location. Still doesn't mean we're friends. Imetokea we had a group photo and you and I just so happen to stand close to each other. Does not mean we're friends.
Oh, that's a sure thing.
Hata ukini text and you're like, hey, there's 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I text you back, still doesn't mean we're friends.
That's true.
Once I reach the level to disconnect from a person, I truly disconnect. I will talk to you just like I would talk to any random fellow. Still respectful, still me, but
loving it.
There's no emotional attachment between me and you.
That's the part.
Ile conversation ukimaliza tu bye, umemaliza hoja yako ndio imeishia hapo. I don't think about you. I continue with my day. I continue with my business. If you come text again, fresh. You don't text me,
I'm not going to get hurt. But that's where even the boundary comes in, because it's like you've already crossed the line. For me, because I'm the type of person, I'm like, one, I give people so many chances, which sometimes it's bad, but I'm like, I give. So if when I say I am going to disconnect from you, just know that I have tried.
Me and you.
I have tried so hard, and it's just been where it's like you've just crossed the line. Me, like there's one thing I've told people, I'm like, okay, shall cross the line for me, we're done.
Maybe ukishana we're very close, alafu ghafla tu yani out of nowhere yani. Taratibu umeanza kuona like nimesha punguza speed ya kukutafuta. We can go weeks and I'm not even trying to talk to you. And just know I've slowly disconnected.
Exactly.
Even eventually to go completely quiet.
And you'd be like, what? I you know what's so interesting? There's some people that they do actually realize, they're like, wait, this person, I've not talked to them and whatnot. But the thing is, though, they realize and they call you, but they don't want to talk about
No
what just
one wants
happened.
confrontations. That's the thing. Tana sijui it's a African thing or something, but I feel like we don't like confrontations. Tunapenda to just we expect kwamba we're not okay. So we were not okay, and then now we have to figure out individually, personally, and then just be okay again without
Talking about what
the
just
elephant in the
happened.
room is not addressed.
I don't like that. But so I'm just like, I'd rather you just not talk to me instead of acting as if nothing just happened. Because I'm like, I will get even more mad if you're going to talk as if we did just have a. And the thing is, though, because it's like again a situation when it's like someone that we talk like so like you like we've not gone this long, but it's like we talk, we say hi to each other, we check up on each other, blah blah blah, and it's like and literally when we see each other every single time so at church or whatever, we say hi. But it's like Gaffer and honor that I'm not checking up on you, and then on top of that, we don't say hi. Like we literally see each other, we pass by, but like I'm like, does it not? Do they not realize that this is not normal? Like this is. That's I'm just like okay. I'm first of all, I'm like I'm not gonna say anything. People are like, why don't you say anything? I'm like, because I'm tired. I've tried. When you've tried, it's like you know what? I've done my part. It's up to the person to do it. If they don't want to, maybe at the end of the day, I will get mad and be upset the first few couple of days, couple of weeks. Like you know, get over it because I'm like, you know what? What else can I do? I can't control how they react or how they feel and whatnot. So I'm like, if they okay more that they don't want to talk, fine. Okay more they don't want to confront. I ain't a shida, but one thing, do not come up and talk to me as if nothing has happened, because that is where I will get pissed. And I will not allow the same. But yeah, even after that, I'm like, I will not allow the same access to me that you had before. So if we were close and I used to tell you everything and I was vulnerable, and then something happened, I will not feel comfortable telling you stuff that I used to tell you because I'm like the trust there is gone. But yeah, so I have verses down to share real quick, and then we can wrap this up. But yeah, so the verses. The first one is from Proverbs 4:23, and it says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you feel. Yeah, you do flows from it, and that is the whole setting boundaries. That's how you guard your heart, by setting those boundaries with people that you're supposed to set boundaries with. And then the next one is Matthew 5:37. It says, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no." So if you see someone like is like crossing the boundary, or you see is like, just be like, no, I don't like this, or like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like be clear, be direct and whatnot with what to
Also,
not even to the person but to yourself, basically.
Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. That means you also don't have to swear on God and say like, I promise. Like you don't have to make vague. Just you don't have to throw out promises and throw out oaths that yeah, what happened happened. I mean, if a person trusts you, they trust you. If they don't, they don't. If a person is caring, they care, and if they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
So yani hivyo yani kwamba it's black or white. Bas.
But yeah. And then the last one is Luke 5:16. It says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." And so boundaries also include stepping away from people. Includes like, okay, let me keep my distance and let me focus on my relationship with God and have time with Him and see what He says and have Him help me guide me through the situation that you're in and through the boundaries that you want to set, basically.
Like in a few words, I can say kwamba your relationship with God or your faith matters in setting boundaries. So you also need to be spiritually aware of who you are And I think for me, Pia, it has helped once I started building my relationship with God personally, not church wise, not you, my mom, and Benny Sally. When I started building that relationship with God and realized I can talk to Him like I'm talking to my friend, it also helped me to stop saying some things to other people that they don't need to know, and you can just say to God and move on with life. And sometimes it's very relieving to talk to God when you know that you're talking to Him. Of course, kuna watu watakuuliza, how do you know God is there? How do you think that you're connected with God? What makes you think you're connected with God? What makes you think it's God? But me, it's my personal relationship with God. Who I'm serving is me and Him.
And him, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to see Him but me, I see Him in my life.
Yeah.
God's been working wonders since I was born. So living testimony. So boundaries require prayers, requires pia Mungu akwambie kwamba like inafika time you actually hear the spirit of God telling you kwamba you need to set boundaries, but you choose not to. So it's also asking God for grace to know when to set boundaries and to also be able to stand on those boundaries, because sometimes you can set them and then something happens, unazipindua zote. And you're like, this is not the person I was. I mean, like, I chose to do this. Why am I changing that? Evil. So
But anyways, we're done. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for coming through.
I'm honored to be part of this.
Very, very happy, very excited.
So am I.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. I do this all the time and I already.
Eventually it all connects. So better connect with both of us, and in the comment section as well. Please let us know what you think about boundaries and how are we setting these boundaries this year and for the rest of our lives.
Thank you so much. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.